Alright, hey, good day everyone. I'm gonna try and show how to do some scenery. I've got a few little projects here. Uh, I'll leave these links in the. This is just a a blank project I made. I'll go ahead and bring all these up and download them. This is the plugin I'm going to use today. I actually use a newer version, but this is the only one I could find on the internet easily. We'll add this one as well, which is just a freeware model on the internet. You can use, I use OBJ. I don't know why. That's just I tend to use. And download this package, which is it's a blank package, literally nothing in it, but it'll actually build as is. And you can rename it, build a new project out of it, load it up, and start adding scenery, whatever. Pretty easy. It's there's several projects out there, I guess, probably, that will work for that. Of course, you'll also need Blender. We'll be working in Blender. Alright, get rid of this window. And I'm just gonna, I use 7-zip, but you can extract these. I also tend to use the desktop as a worktop area. Some people work in the SDK folder or whatever. So we'll extract these three. The first one I'll show is this one. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't need to extract that one. Restore. Yeah, that one you use as a zip file. So we'll go in here. Now I already have it installed. But to install it, you would just go to Preferences. And here it is, right here. It's already installed. But you would just go Install. Mine's on the desktop. Find that zip file. And then install the add-on. Now you'll see the blue line at the bottom, but wait, don't move. Give it a couple of minutes, and it should auto search for it and isolate just that add-on. It may not do it because it was already pre-installed. So. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do it. Normally, the name will pop up here all by itself. And that's kind of how you tell it's correct. You just don't touch anything and let it do its thing, and eventually it'll search here. It's not going to do it because I've already got it installed. Alright, I always like to reboot, you know, to make sure it's all loaded in correctly and the script's fully loaded. Then we're going to make a couple of folders. I'll start out with just a cube. We'll go cube, model, folder. And there's no, you can name these anything you want. It's just a container folder for my models. Learn how to type. There we go. Alright, inside this I want to put a texture folder. And I'm going to put another one called cube model. And that's where the actual GTLF will go. Now this is not my project. Here's the project we'll be working with. And this is just some editing and some other. This is a model, a working model. As you can see, the GTLF bin and XML there. The textures there. I just added this so it's an example. You can drop that ready-made model right into here and it'll work just fine. So here's our working project. This is the project that we're going to work with. And I'll get into that some more in a minute. Let's see. Blender. Now I'm just going to use this default cube. I'll hit delete there, select that one, and delete that one. I'll go ahead and move the cube so it's not underground. That looks good. It's also fairly large, but I'm not worried about that. Now at this point, I don't have any textures, no nothing. But I want to go ahead and save this file. And I don't know this is model folder. I don't know that there's any real reason for this, but I always like to save the base model before I start. So we'll save this as cube.blend. Now it'll just automatically save right to there without having to name anything. Alright, what am I doing? Okay, so first thing, let's go ahead and throw a texture on here. I'm not super great with Blender, but we'll try. I like white on my background, so we'll change that to white. Name this appropriately for some and they're always going to be on a PNG here. And now we have this, but it's not actually saved anywhere. We're going to save this right there. Okay, now to tell, we still haven't done it. Now it will show in Blender, okay, but it's not actually attached for the Microsoft. That add-on we gave us this, and this is where you have to set it for the Microsoft part, and you have to set it here. That's it. Now we have the cube PNG, and it even opens to the right texture folder, so we know it's correct. We can open this, and it opens the same folder, so we know everything's correct. We're going to save that. Alright, now let's do some quick coloring just for fun. I wasn't really going to do that, but white just seems so bland. Just make a blue cube. Let's make a red top just for fun. Okay. Back to the object. Image. Save our image again. Go ahead and select. And save our Blender file again. Now we're ready to export. And I'll go to the very bottom one. So period / texture. I always do that. I don't think it does it. We want to generate the thing. You only use this if you're doing scenery. Oh, just cube.xml. Gotta name it. I don't think it's required, but I always click those two. Make sure that one's. And we're gonna export it Now let's see this. Yeah, we're going to export it right here. Textures looks right. We have all the files, so that looks good. Let's give that a try. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. Now, basically, here's our working project. Here's our model folder. So we want to go in here, and where you put this, it's going to be package sources, models. I already have the exact same structure that goes there, so I'll just copy these two. That's one of the reasons all my model folders, I tend to use the exact same structure as what's going to go in here. I don't know if that helps or not, but it's the way I do it. So that's actually it. This is the format that I use. You could actually, as far as I know, you could put those three files like right here, and it'd be fine too. Actually, let me remove that. And the reason is I just want to show you this is a buildable project with nothing in it. Now there's nothing in here. Okay, just an empty directory. Here there's this file which creates the BGL, but it's literally FS data open, FS data close. It's an empty or blank file. So it just creates the BGL. It doesn't do anything. We'll run that and you can see what it outputs. This is very critical because I do it all, and if you don't use FS package exterior, you're missing a sure bet here. If you go to your SDK folder, tools, bin, just create a shortcut, and then you can drag over that shortcut to do this, to build your packages. You can rename it, so that and that's identical basically. And there we go. Finish 2 skip, 3 done, blah blah blah. And then you have your temp folder and your output. This is normally packages, and this is int package source something, I don't know. I customize them here and here. So this is my output. This is the actual add-on that we just created. Now, of course, it's blank or what. The first thing you're going to look for is make sure you got the 2 control files. Of course, then here's my little thumbnail that I add. And then here are both BGLs. There's no textures, because there's no actual model or textures in there. So this is actually a working add-on, just an empty add-on that would do nothing. But it's all set up, it has all the naming that will work. So let's go and try it with the model in there. See if that works. If I messed up my model. So we'll just run this one again, and we should get a little more with less skipped. It'll always skip like one. Or one will, one. There's always, I don't put the business JSON, which I think is what it skips. Six done, converted BMP. This looks correct. Here's our add-on folder again. Main control files are there. My thumbnail's there. That's good. Scenery. Alright, there's our 2 BGLs. Note this one, both of them were 56. I didn't show this, but MD BGLs are 56 bytes. This one's a little bigger. So we know it's and the textures are converted and in the right place. This is effectively a working project. I could copy that community, and I can even see it in game. Actually, do I need to even copy it to community? No, I don't. I just need to load it to see if it works. So this is the only one that I haven't done yet, and I'm just gonna get rid of that. This might end up being a little bit longer a video than I expected, but that's basically how you add or import your models. That's a pretty simple model. That's why I was going to do another one. You know, go through it one more time and just, you know. And also, I might change up the package. It'll only take a few minutes so that it's actually a add-on. Right now, this is basically just a library file. There's no scenery attached to it. The only usage would be to put it in your community folder, and then you'd load a different add-on, you know, a different mod for, say, an airport, and then it, because that add-on is in your community folder, the model would be available through the objects menu in the SDK. You can also load the project, because I put that blank BGL in there. You can load the project into the SDK and see the model that way. That's all I'm going to do as soon as we get to the main menu, just to make sure everything's kosher. But there's really no point in that unless you change it up and actually use it for a scenery. I'll just load the project from the project XML. And you can see I've already got a lot of this stuff from the there's my package, there's the cube. So everything is showing up in game. So this would work as so basically I just created a library package. Okay, like I said, the difference between a library package is it isn't directly used. The only real purpose in it would be to copy this into your community folder and then use it to pull the models from. Okay, well that doesn't really help us. So let's say we're wanting to make this into an actual model and a package that we're going to use. We'll get rid of these for the time being. I'm done with those. And then we're going to create a new model holder. Call it Watchtower. Again, that's kind of irrelevant. And here we're gonna call make us another folder for texture and a new folder for watch tower. Okay, now that our package is built, we can go in, start Blender. This time we'll delete everything. We'll import our OBX. BJ. And as you can see, there's no models associated with it or any of that good stuff. That's alright. I'm gonna save this. Here in our base folder. Okay, now we can do the textures. Here, since this is different, I'll just copy these textures from this folder. I mean, obviously, if you were creating this yourself, you would just make them, save them there. So now that they're there, we can set these textures up. I want to go here. What the heck, did I end up removing that? No, it's still in. Oh. I'm missing something here. I don't have my settings. Okay, something's off. Something's off. Maybe I need to associate the package with it before I the textures before I save it. Let's start over. I haven't actually tried to import one in a while, so. I am not getting my settings. The Microsoft settings should be right there. Oh, maybe I'm not. I'm not in textures. Oh my gosh. Let's don't save that. That's what it was. Okay. Texture. There they are. There's the settings I needed. Set it to standard. Open. Same place. Open that. And we got texture. Okay. And that's that texture. Open the normal because this has a normal as well. Open that one. There we go. Okay. Now we should see this one normal JPG. I don't know that JPEG will work. Huh. Never actually come across. Alright, well, let's see if it'll work. I think I'm going to have to convert those to PNG though. Alright, well, let's save our Blender file right there. And let's try it. I may have to convert those. I didn't realize that that had JPEG textures. I just saw it. I thought it was a cool looking watchtower. We'll go inside our folder. Okay, something's wrong. Yeah, something is wrong with my, I guess when I installed that, I may have messed something up. Huh. Yeah, we didn't get an export. So why would it not export? Oh, the textures are the wrong format. Let's get rid of that. Something's up with these textures. I'm gonna convert them to a JPEG. As far as I know, you need JPEGs. Or PNG, I mean. And I'm just converting. You can do it any way you want. I just use paint.net, but you can use whatever program you want. As long as it does whatever. The two different types of files, in this case JPEG and JPG. Alright, so those are the correct files. Now let's go back in here and see if we can get this set back up. Of course, obviously it's not right now, so we'll disable that and disable that. Disable those two. You load it over here so you can select it over here. Norm PNG. There we go. Okay, that should be it. Save the file again. We'll export that and see if it works. I'll export that to there. Okay, that time we didn't get a error. So let's go see if that looks right. Now, yeah, now we got all three files on our two JPEGs. So yeah, that's what it was. Okay, good. Let's get rid of this. And we'll copy this part into our working project. Now we have the same format or folder structure. Everything looks good. Let's done with our folders. Let's just compile it. I'm not actually ready to try it yet because I want to change it up. I want to make this like we're going to use it at some building, at some specific location. So I'm going to rename everything. But I want to run that model. Anytime you put a new model in a package, run it through the SDK, and you can look at the output folder and tell if it, I mean, you know, I'd say you got a 90% or better chance if all the files are where they're supposed to be, that it'll work. And it looks like we got 2 converted bitmaps, so we got both of the textures, it looks like. Here's our project folder, our output. Icons there. Both our files are there. And both our models are there. And all 4, that's perfect. So that looks like it's a working thing. But before we do that, we're going to rename everything and make this. Now I'm just going to use, actually I wrote it down, Hawk Haven, which is a local airport near my home, you know, just a little no bit. So we're going to rename this entire package and make it into this, into like we were creating this a project scenery at this particular. So I'll name even the package folder first. Also rename the project folder. These are just for your own personal use. You can really kind of name them any way you want. I just don't like the way it. There we go. Alright. Here, let's go ahead and rename that. This again, this is internal for the STK as far as I know. We can leave this and this, but we're definitely going to want to rename it. I use OO, and the reason I do that is so if I'm making library projects, the OO or O1 or makes them land at the very top of the objects menu. That's the only reason. By all rights, that should be your short name. So in my case, custom EDR Hawkhaven. Now that would be the name, so that's not correct. Let's Hawkhaven, and we'll do it this way. Also, since this is going to be the name of the it shouldn't have any capitals. Why? I'm just following the samples basically here. And so we also need to make sure every note this points to a specific file. It points to this package definition file right here. Okay, but so this and that line have to match. Stop the whole show right there. Okay, now that works, this is updated, so we can save and close this. Now we're going to go to here, and this is going to need a little bit of work. Let's see, where am I looking for Hawkhaven? Rename this internal name. Just we'll rename all of this. And this is just a title. It'll show up in the game. So, all right, now we have custom project. Let's name custom project Hawkhaven project, and that has to reflect right here on this content info. Package definitions. Hawkhaven project. Okay. Content info. So that's now edited. Correctly named. Now we want to go change the other two assets. So we'll go into the package sources. Here I'm going to use, instead of Hawkhaven, I think I'll use the and we'll put an underscore just because I don't like the way it looks. Doesn't matter, I just like to use unique names everywhere. Okay, so now the asset directory, or the input, is going to be package sources. Okay, 5 models. Okay, 5 models. Here is the same thing. I'll put this is the output. Now I usually like to make them the same so all my BGLs end up in the same directory. You could go to just scenery. I always like to put an extra folder past scenery so that it separates my stuff from everything else. Now this isn't the project, this is the output. So this is actually the mod. So I'm going to rename that just because I don't like it. Or add-on. So we'll send it to mod add-on. And that's it. That should be us. Watchtower is in there. Oh, one more. I want to change this. Just to rename the BGL. This is what the scenery BGL will be named. Now we have a different project, completely different. Let's see if it runs. See if I did it right. And we're ready to actually go in and place our custom model at that specific airport if this works. I don't know how long I've been on pause, on mute. I have to go check this video. I may not be able to use this video, or maybe go back and put some overlays or something on there. Yeah, that's kind of a bad deal. I renamed everything, so I was kind of explaining how I did that. Bad spot for me to mute my mic. Forget, huh? Definitely have to look through this video and make sure I didn't have my mic muted for too long. I do have some text in that download for this original package, this blank scenery package, and like I say, I will put the links there. I do have some text that tell you, editing notes, that tell you what each thing does, but I'm not sure how, if that may be more confusing than helpful to a lot of people. I like doing things in the files. I like manually editing files, and because I just have a much easier time when I can look at the actual folder that comment represents. You know, and the SDK, it's confusing to me. When I enter some name of some folder or file, I don't know what file or folder I'm naming until until I look in the package. I can't, you know, I don't have any reference of where this is going to end up in the package. So it's hard for me to do through the SDK. I do most, you know, obviously you build in the SDK, but I actually make the package manually. That way everything's correctly named. More direct control and, you know, visibly being able to see what the names are just help me. And I don't have a super big computer, so it takes a minute. So we're gonna go to 05, okay, Hawk Haven. We'll start at the parking spot just for fun. A lot of times I'll clear, if I'm developing, I usually clear my weather, but I'm not gonna bother. Hopefully it's not totally overcast over there. We have some clouds here, but like scattered. This is only about 20 miles away from me. I wanted to use an empty airport rather than the one I normally start at is bigger. It already has a lot of stuff, so this one's just a tiny little airport. And, you know, plenty of room for improvement. That's the actual airstrip there, that grass. Alright. So we'll load this, open this project, which is now named similar to what we have, Hawk Haven. I'll load this in the editor. And sometimes it takes a while for my PC to do anything. And there's my package. We renamed it. There it is. That looks like a good spot to place it just for fun. And there you go. I like the one click because you can see the object in case you need to resize it or whatever. Alright, just for fun, let's go ahead and add a windsock. That'll put something in the other package, so we'll have two usable. And I'm just going to throw this in. I'm not really designing. And that's just, there we go. At this point, where's my scenery editor? Sure. What the hell? I don't know what the hell I did. Oh, I already had the scenery. There we go. I just had them. They put it right over the top. Alright. Alright, I screwed up somewhere. Everything was right, but I screwed up somewhere. Let's start this over. Those windows were hidden and I didn't see the window I needed. Okay, we're back to square one here. Yeah, there's my scenery editor. Now it's not overlap. I hate this. They always want to grab your this auto movement shit is BS. It just pisses me off when they try to tell me where I want to put my damn. Now, for some reason, I think I've loaded and unloaded it too many times. Not seeing the pavement, the actual. Alright, did we already load this in the editor? I guess we did. Not gonna worry about that. Place that. I'm not seeing all the default textures like we should, but I'm not concerned about that. I'll just place a couple of objects. Save scenery. There we go. Now we'll go to the main package. Clean, sure. Build. Why would it fail to find? Okay. Let's see. Huh. I don't know what those warnings are, but let's get out of this. It appears to have worked. I do know that loading and unloading the sceneries kind of causes the STK, but it appears to work. So let's try it. I just reload right into there with that in the community folder, and this is my output. So that's my. And here's where I changed the name. So let's see if this works. Yeah, this ended up being about twice as long as I expected, video-wise. But hopefully it'll help somebody as far as the big thing as far as getting Blender models into the game seemed to be the setup. Setting it up, I like to set it up like this so that I have it exactly how it's going to end up. And I don't know if that's why, but you got to make sure those textures are in the right place and associated not only in Blender, but in that Microsoft Flight Sim setting down there, and that they're both on the same file, and that being the file that you're going to use in that end package, in the SDK package. I've had issues, like I say, I'm not super great with Blender, which is kind of why I thought maybe I'd do this, because I've watched Blender things, and they set the things, and well, when I do it, it appears to be the same, but what I've come to realize it's not quite. It's the same files and everything that you load, but if they're not in the exact right directory structure, it may not work. At least that's my theory. We'll see how it goes. Now, if this were to work, I mean, the next step would I'd probably first move that package off my desktop, my temporary working directory, and put it in my permanent SDK packages folder. Then I'd be ready to start working on this airport in earnest, rather than just getting the setup done. What I'm doing is basically the preliminary, what I would do before I even start working on a project. And this is just setting up the package, making sure it works, trying it out from the community folder at least once to make sure everything's loading correctly. Then you're ready to start on your on your development. But I've tried to tried to help whatever. A lot of modelers in there, excellent, much better modeling than I probably ever will be. But modeling is one thing. Building and a game add-on is kind of a different. It's something else. And that's the part I'm kind of good at. And I can customize the directories and everything, no problem. Doesn't bother me. But I do it all out of game, which is a little different. And there's my model. Haven't loaded anything into there. And there's our windsock and our model. So this would be ready to start really doing some work here. And that should be the only last thing before I let you go is let's actually see what it did in the package. And we know nothing in here has changed, obviously. We have our watchtower, but the only thing that we've actually really changed here is this scenery. And here you go. Here's our custom watchtower library object and the windsock. And so that's it. That's how you would. Then I could actually move this whole project, just move this whole folder, and I would probably move it in here and start working on it. That's how you get models into the game. It's to me, it's not that hard. I don't know Blender, but I managed to figure this out. So I hope maybe that'll help some people. If not, sorry. Good luck. Hope you can figure it out. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.